Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the reasons behind why you should stop buying shiny objects. So if you are a shiny object seeker, make sure to keep watching until the end of the video, as I'm going to be diving into some of the key valid points that you should be aware of to overcome shiny object syndrome. And I will also be sharing with you a valuable resource that will also teach you some other concepts and ways of how you can overcome a lot of these challenges so that you can actually start getting results that you need to actually start making money online and to also actually help you build and grow an online business. So this video will give you a brief overview of shiny object syndrome, what it is and what steps should you take to overcome the challenges and hurdles you may face that is stopping you from getting work done. We will dive into some of the common issues people face and why they keep spending money on things they really don't need or ever use, thinking that it will somehow instantly change their lives overnight. So again, make sure to keep watching until the end, as I will be sharing with you a valuable resource that will help you overcome shiny object syndrome once and for all. So what are some of the key problems of shiny object syndrome? People are always on the lookout for something new and trendy. Shiny object seekers are always moving on to the next big thing and never stick with any one particular thing long enough to actually see any results from their efforts. And the main common misconception of shiny object seekers is that they want instant and quick results. They are naive to all of the hype and misled details that is spread online, thinking that this will finally be the method that they have been searching for, only to realize that it actually doesn't work. So a lot of the times they are often misled. So what is the target audience? The target audience of shiny object seekers are mainly beginners that are new to internet marketing and the whole online world in general. And because of this, and because of their lack of awareness and impulsive nature to want to buy anything and everything before they actually make a logical decision, it makes it easy for shady gurus and internet marketers to easily manipulate them into spending thousands on services and courses. Because of their lack of awareness and impulsive nature to buy before they make a logical decision, it makes it easy for shady gurus and internet marketers to easily manipulate them into spending thousands on services and courses that make false promises of guaranteed success. Because when you're an actual newbie online, you're completely oblivious to what's good and what's not, so it's very easy for people to tell you what you want to hear. So just looking at even the likes of certain trends and how shiny object seekers' minds tend to work and how gurus and shady marketers tend to capitalize on that. Essentially, they feed into your emotions. So shiny object seekers are always looking for the next big thing. So we're always on the lookout for latest trends, big product launches, and mainly what is popular in the moment. They make emotionally based decisions based on how they feel in the moment, and shady gurus take advantage of this nature and exploit it to their advantage, while the shiny object seeker has no real idea of what they're buying into. And as you can see here from the demonstration on the graph on the screen, you have different variations of different types of shiny object seekers. Anything from low to high interest, where they're just starting out but they are pretty much wanting to buy something there and then. Then you have people that are kind of on the fence. They have medium to high interest. They're about to push the button to actually buy something, but they're not really sure if they should buy it. But the urge to buy is always there. And then you have the highly interested buyers, and they're pretty much ready to buy anything. And you often see this with product launches on platforms the likes of Warrior Plus and JVZoo. Even though a lot of products and services on a lot of these platforms, now they're not all bad. There are some decent products on these platforms, but they're usually overshadowed by a lot of the shady products that are on them. And as a result, you get the highly interested shiny object seekers that actually come in and they just want to buy. They don't really understand what it is that they're looking at, but they're just looking for something because it's a big launch. They think that it's actually going to help them, and they don't even really think about the possibilities that it might not work or whether they can actually get their money back if they actually buy. So they're just out with their credit card and they just want to buy regardless, and they're not really thinking of the consequences. So even just going over the types of the shiny object seeker, and I've broken it down into 4 main categories. So for number 1, it's usually the newbie. They're just starting out, as I mentioned at the start of the video. So they're just starting out online with no real idea of what's a good product or not. All they know is that they just want to buy something. They're looking for some sort of incentive to try and get started online, or they're looking to create content, or they want to set up a business, or they want to opt into some sort of training program, but they're not really sure of what really is good or not because they actually haven't done enough research, which then leads on to even the second type of shiny object seeker, is that they start buying but they never implement. So they've been online for a while and have bought a few products and services, but have never really actually used them or implemented any of the strategies inside. So for the most part, they may have bought products or services that actually weren't as good, and they tried to implement some of the features inside only to realize that it actually wasn't really good, or then potentially got them in trouble. So that when they did eventually buy another product that actually did have good training material inside, they never really implemented it because they either didn't trust it or they were just too eager to want to buy something else. So the third type of person would be someone that's very easily distracted, and I myself, my own personal experience, can fit into this category specifically, is that I too was easily distracted. You have so many ideas of wanting to do different things, and you have so many really good ideas, but the problem is because your ideas are so scattered about what you want to do and what you want to actually start, you never really actually get started. So what ends up happening is you just keep buying, thinking that it will actually solve more of your problems, and you never really think of the consequences, and because of that you just can't stay focused long enough, which does lead on to the fourth type of person, which is impulsive and lacks discipline. And at this point what actually happens is that it actually has now become an addiction. They're actually just buying to fill a void in their lives, and they're oblivious to actually what they want or need. They're not really sure of what it is that they actually want to do anymore. They have so many things going on that sometimes buying things and shiny objects and courses and stuff kind of just takes away from the reality of having to deal with real life. So they end up falling into this trap of just constantly buying and never really implementing. So it kind of is a combination of all of the previous points that I mentioned, which can be very dangerous in the long run, as you can waste a lot of money and potentially put yourself into financial difficulty, which definitely isn't something you want to do. So here I've just kind of broken down like a buying cycle timeline, and the reason why I go through this is because I myself personally have gone through this, and others that I know have actually gone through it as well. Pretty much everyone that has suffered from shiny object syndrome at some point will have gone through a lot of these different criteria. So usually you start off, say in January, the new year, you start a new year buying frenzy. You start buying with the intention to actually start that all important project or business online, and then it quickly moves on then into the next month. So you're actually buying, and what's actually happening is now you're at a point where you're stockpiling programs, services, courses, all with the intention of using it later. And what actually begins to happen is you start making excuses and putting things off, and you never actually start anything. So it takes longer for you to actually start getting any sort of traction. So then another month or so passes by, and what actually happens is then you've gone into so much of a frenzy that you've become addicted. So it's literally as soon as you get your paycheck, if you're working a 9-to-5 job, literally the first thing you're going out and you're doing is you're buying the next shiny thing, and you're wasting a ton of money in the process because you're not really thinking of the long-term goals or the long-term benefits of actually starting that project that you originally wanted to start, or setting up that online business, because you're in that buying mode. You can't really see past it. So then after a while what will happen is you'll eventually start to become a little bit aware of what it is that you've been doing, and you realize that you don't have as much money. So what actually happens is it's like trying to lose weight or trying to quit smoking. You try to go cold turkey thinking that you're actually going to be able to solve the problem, but the problem with it is that you do stop buying, and you do actually start trying to implement certain things from some of the strategies and services that you've actually bought, but the urge to buy is still way too strong, and it's very, very easy for you to fall off the wagon and to want to keep buying again. So it is very, very hard for you to really get started and actually start seeing any sort of progress with what it is that you're doing online, which leads on then after a couple of months, then it will start to lead into desperation. So again, you are at this point starting to actually want to implement strategies, and you are looking into a lot of the services that you've actually bought, only to realize that a lot of them that you did buy previously don't actually work, or that you can't implement the strategies. And a lot of the reasons behind this is because you bought products or services from shady gurus online that promise you instant results, one button push software that can guarantee to make you thousands overnight, or they use shady methods to promote and sell products online, which in turn you actually try it out, and more often than not it actually gets your accounts, your social media accounts, suspended or banned permanently. And again, you also waste a ton of money in doing so. And also what happens is it leaves you to a point where you just feel so deflated and you end up giving up on your initial ideas and projects. It finally hits you that all the items you've bought were a waste of time and money, and you cannot even get the refunds, which leads you to just quitting altogether. So there's so many different hurdles that you actually do end up going through when you are a shiny object seeker. And to be honest, everyone that goes online, myself included, we've all gone through this. So how can you overcome shiny object syndrome? Well, to quickly just go over it, the best way that I found is to look for inspiration and guidance. There are plenty of helpful resources available online, and you want to get involved in communities with like-minded people who also had similar experiences. They can help to hold you accountable. Once you change your mindset, it will change how you see shiny objects and realize that they are of no benefit to you. The main word and the most important word in this is accountability, as holding yourself accountable will actually be the difference of you actually falling off the wagon and wanting to actually go and buy stuff again, or actually implementing the strategies and actually really making a go of whatever journey it is that you want to pursue online. It's not an easy task, but like I mentioned, if you can surround yourself with like-minded people who have also gone through similar occurrences and that have similar experiences, they can also teach you what to look out for. And again, they will also be able to hold you accountable and actually reel you back in every time you feel like that you want to just go crazy again with buying stuff, which definitely is a massive insight, and it will really help you to see progress long term. So the key points here really is to learn from your mistakes, or you will never really be able to break the cycle. And again, it's not an easy cycle to break free of, but once you can build a foundation and with the right guidance, you will be able to look past all of the useless noise and focus on what is important to actually get the results that you actually want online. So a quick tip really to kind of just help you with this is, if you are feeling stuck and you do feel the urge to want to buy something that you know yourself is probably not right for you, always take a step back and just really look at things objectively and ask yourself, do I really need this? Is it actually going to help me? What can I get out of this? And how is it going to benefit me in the long run? Whether that's a service, whether that's a course, whether you're signing up to a training program, there is pros and cons with each. Some are good, some are really good, some are very high quality, but they can be expensive. But then on the other end, you have really bad products and services, and they can actually cost you a lot of time, effort, money, and potentially can put you in financial difficulties. So you do really have to look at everything when you're actually going to buy something online, especially if it really is based around what you want to get out of it and how you want to proceed if you're looking to create content or build a business online. It's not an easy feat to overcome, but as long as you follow the steps that I've mentioned here in this video, you do have a good chance of being able to overcome a lot of these issues, and it will greatly help you moving forward with wanting to build a business online. Even to give an example of where I was at when I first started this YouTube channel, I myself had that issue. I was trying to do so many different things with the channel, and I didn't really understand of trying to focus on a particular area. And what actually happened is it ended up leading the content and even my audience to be skewed, that people coming onto the channel didn't really understand what I was trying to do, because at the time I didn't understand what I was trying to do, because I was trying to implement so many things and I was buying so many other products thinking that if I implement this strategy and that strategy and this strategy that it will all work and that I can combine it all together. But the reality is that doesn't work. What you do need to do is focus on one thing, stay on your your path, stay in your lane, focus on that one area, get really good at it and become the authority figure in that area, because that's what's going to get you the results as time goes on. So just to quickly just give you a bit more of an insight before we wrap up this video, is that if you are looking at wanting to buy something, by all means, if you're going to buy something, think of how it's going to benefit you and ask yourself, are you actually going to use it? You can come on to platforms like Warrior Plus and JVZoo, as I mentioned. There is others likes of ClickBank, and a lot of them, they do have some really good products on it. Again, there is some products that are questionable. You do have to be very, very careful and conscious of your choices. Even with the likes of ClickBank, there is a lot of good platforms and services on ClickBank, but again, ClickBank also does have a lot of questionable products on it too. But you do have the potential to make a lot of money, but you do have to be wary of that. But you just can't just buy into everything thinking that it's going to make you a quick buck. Also, you have platforms likes of AppSumo, which, unlike JVZoo and Warrior Plus, AppSumo actually has access to tons of really useful products and services, and more like business and tool related products that can actually help you to grow your online business, like anything from email marketing to writing newsletters, content generators, graphic design tools and the like. And you can get a lot of really good deals. AppSumo are always running deals on the platform for a lot of these usable platforms, and sometimes you can even get one-time deals, which you can get almost like 90% off a certain platform for as little as even like $49, and you never have to worry about actually spending any monthly fees. And that's fine for what it is. If you're looking for something that can actually help you, AppSumo does actually have a lot of useful platforms and tools available. The problem with it is because there's so many deals, it's very, very easy, likes of the other platforms, to quickly get caught up with the shiny object syndrome and want to keep buying all these things thinking that you're actually going to use them. But again, like I mentioned, if you are going to use any of these platforms online, have a look at them objectively, see which one is useful, ask yourself, is this going to be something that I can actually use? Go on to the website, do your research, have a look and see the pros and cons of the platform, the pricing structures, and if it's something, instead of paying like say a monthly fee or like a high-end fee, you can come on to the likes of here and buy something for as little as $49, get lifetime access to it, and then that's it. Then you can use it then for life, and it will actually greatly help your business in the long run, but only if you stick at your proven path and stick in your lane. So even with the likes of all these platforms, AppSumo is no different to the likes of ClickBank and all the others as I mentioned. You can quickly get caught up with wanting to buy things on this very, very easily as well, because there's so many really cool platforms here on offer, and all for good prices too. So you do have to be aware of that. But if you are actually wanting to find out more about how you can overcome shiny object syndrome and what you can actually do to actually focus all your energy so that you can really start getting results and even potentially to generate money online and even build a sustainable long-term business online, then I have something for you. Below in the description is a link to a free web class that will actually teach you all of the key areas of what you need to do to actually start making progress and to make continuous progress. And it will also show you why in more detail of why buying shiny objects are only keeping you back, wasting your time and money. So my coach and personal mentor Philip Bowerman will actually walk you through all of these processes, and he will explain to you in detail of what you should actually do to overcome all of these hurdles if you do have shiny object syndrome. So again, make sure to register for the free web class, again the link below in the description. And if you'd like more helpful guides and tips on where I provide content that actually teaches you other ways of how you can actually start making progress with your online journey so that you can potentially earn a living online and grow your online business, also be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be updated on future videos. And as always, I will see you in the next one.